Hey, hon, what's this?
Oh, that is an Inovelli 4-in-1 sensor. It detects brightness, temperature, motion, and humidity.
Okay, but what's it doing in our house?
So because it's a sensor, it can provide our hub with valuable information that the hub can use to talk to our other smart devices.
Okay, do we really need yet another smart thingy in our house? I mean, you already have the lights on a schedule, the kids' bedtime routine is set. Isn't this a little excessive?
No, this is different. Trust me, you're going to love this. It's going to make your life so easy. So the brightness sensor will know when it's sunrise and will remind you to go to those Pilates classes you're always talking about. The motion sensor knows if you haven't gotten off the couch in a while and will remind you to go check on the kids. The temperature sensor knows if you burned dinner and will turn on the exhaust fan. Oh, and the humidity sensor. You're going to love this. So the humidity sensor...
Oh, I've heard enough. Does it also bring you food? Because that's about where you're headed. Just remember, it can't do everything that I do for you.
The Inovelli 4-in-1 sensor detects motion, temperature, humidity, and luminance and retails for about $35. I've actually seen them for under $30 on Amazon, and you can pick one up using our affiliate link down below. It operates over the Z-Wave protocol and is compatible with all the major hubs out there. If you've seen my previous smart home videos, you've likely seen other products by Inovelli featured here. I was so impressed by their smart switches and dimmers that I replaced everyone in our home with one of theirs. It's no surprise then that when Inovelli released their new sensor and they invited me to take a look, I was eager to try it out. What are we doing? Guess we're backing up is what we're doing. First of all, there's like a legit thunderstorm going on outside, so I'm gonna do what I can to make sure you don't hear that, but forgive me if you can. At 2 inches by 2 inches by 1.5 inches, the device is relatively small. A stem and mounting base add about 1 inch to the overall height, but are required to attach it to walls or ceilings. The device is decently heavy and the panel gaps are narrow. Overall, it feels like a quality product. There's not much else to say about the look and feel of the device. I mean, as a sensor, it's designed to not draw attention to itself, and it does that relatively well. The sensor includes a single CR123A battery, which should last upwards of 2 years before needing to be replaced. Alternatively, it can be powered via a micro USB connector located in the internal battery bay. If your planned location for the sensor allows for this, it might not be a bad idea. But keep in mind, the battery cover conceals the power port. Inovelli does not offer an alternative cover, but does provide 3D models if you want to print one for yourself. The 4-in-1 communicates via Z-Wave Plus S2. I use Habitat with my Z-Wave devices, but SmartThings, Wink, Vera, Home Assistant, HomeSeer, and many others are also supported. The adjustable stand provides greater flexibility when deciding on an appropriate location to mount it. Motion detection is notoriously finicky, so being able to adjust the sensor without remounting it is a huge plus. It comes with 3M adhesive pre-applied to the base, and this should work relatively well, but for a more permanent solution, I'd recommend using the included mounting screws that go through the holes in the base. While not explicitly marketed as an outdoor device, it's rated to operate between 14 and 113 degrees Fahrenheit and up to 90% humidity. If you choose to use it outdoors, do so at your own risk and keep it out of direct sunlight and away from water. Although I provided a few real-world use cases in the intro to this video, here's a few more practical applications. Instead of turning on your AC, have the sensor turn on your ceiling fan when a certain temperature threshold is reached. You can even combine this logic with the motion sensing ability, so the fan is only turning on if it senses someone in the room. The motion sensor is also helpful for security. You can send alerts to your smart speakers when someone is at the door without having to buy an expensive video doorbell.
Motion detected at the front door.
This is also great for homes with kids. You can be notified when someone is out of their room past a certain hour. While the sensor can technically be used for motion-based lighting, I would generally recommend against this for reasons I'll soon explain. If you have a problem with excessive moisture in the bathroom, have the sensor turn on the exhaust fan when high levels of humidity are detected. I use a schedule to set the brightness levels of my smart dimmers, but technically the same thing can be achieved with the luminance sensor. By detecting the ambient brightness of a room, the sensor can keep you from distracting others when you flip on the lights in the middle of the night. These are just a few common ways I've tested smart sensors around our home, but really the possibilities are endless. Setting up the sensor with your smart hub is just as simple of a process as any other Z-Wave device. I've covered this process in detail in previous videos, but I'll recap that for you here just in case you haven't seen them. Keep in mind, I'm using Habitat, but the process is largely the same for SmartThings and many other hubs. The first thing you want to do before pairing the sensor is make sure the correct driver is installed on your hub. For Habitat, there is already a pre-installed driver for this exact device, and I have no doubt that it works fine, but it's usually best practice to install the newest driver directly from the manufacturer. Now, Inovelli makes this simple by providing the raw driver code on their website. From within Habitat, you'll want to click Driver's Code from the left-hand navigation and then New Driver. Simply paste in the code and click Save. This process of adding a manufacturer's driver is a couple extra steps, but it really only takes 60 seconds, and in my experience, is totally worth it. Now that you have the driver ready, you'll want to set the hub in inclusion mode. To get the sensor to pair, you'll need to remove the insulating tab from the battery bay. This is accessed by simply unscrewing the base and removing the cover. With the battery insulation tab removed, the sensor should automatically be placed in inclusion mode, but if it doesn't, just press the button on the bottom of the sensor. You'll see a red light on the sensor flash rapidly until it pairs. Your hub may now try to apply a pre-installed driver, so make sure you go into the device settings and double check that the manufacturer provided driver is the one being used. From this page, it's easy to see if your sensor is functioning properly. It should display the most recent humidity, illuminance, motion, and temperature readings. Here it will also provide you with the battery level, firmware version, and last activity. I've been using this sensor pretty heavily for about 3-4 months now, and the battery life still reads 100%, so I'm not entirely sure if I trust that. The other readings, however, seem to be very accurate. The settings page also allows you to customize the sensitivity, reporting interval, reporting threshold, and measurement offset. Motion detection reports are sent immediately to the hub as soon as they happen, but temperature, humidity, and illuminance are sent every 2 hours by default. Most of these can be left alone, but if you want to shorten the reporting interval for some of these measurements, it might be a good idea for some of your routines. For example, if you want the temperature reading to do something like turn on a ceiling fan, you'll want to lower that temperature reporting interval to something like 5 minutes. Now keep in mind, the more frequently reports are sent to your hub, the bigger impact that will have on the sensor's battery life. What's the temperature of the guest bathroom?
The guest bathroom temperature is 76.8 degrees.
Inovelli has successfully created a versatile and reliable sensor at an attractive price, but it's not without competition. The best-selling motion sensor on Amazon is a Z-Wave device by SmartThings, and it comes in about $10 cheaper than this offering by Inovelli. But all things considered, the Inovelli 4-in-1 is actually a very competitively priced product, considering it's really 4 sensors in one. So why wouldn't I recommend the Inovelli sensor for all of your smart home needs? While the motion sensing abilities of the Inovelli product are good, they aren't the best I've experienced. If you're going to be using this motion sensor for something like motion activated lighting, you really want the best motion sensor you can get. Motion lighting also requires a lot of sensors if you plan to apply it throughout your whole house. A small $10 price difference can actually add up quickly. I personally use schedules for all of our lighting needs, and unless we're doing something really out of the ordinary, this works just fine for us and doesn't cost a dime. For walk-in closets and pantries, a door sensor will be far more consistent than even the best motion sensors out there, and probably cost less too. To be clear, I am recommending the Inovelli 4-in-1 sensor. I think it's a terrific product, and I already have a few ideas on how I can use a few more. I just invite you to carefully evaluate your smart home needs and pick the right tool for the job. Your smart home journey will include a combination of products, and this 4-in-1 sensor should absolutely be one of them. Affiliate links to all of the products discussed today can be found in the video description, and down there you will also find links to our shirts and our giveaways. Right now we're giving away a Whirlwind FX Element mechanical keyboard with RGB lighting that reacts to your gameplay. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more ways to improve your smart home journey, please check out these other videos over here. Thanks for being here. We'll see you in the next one.
Just remember, I can't do everything that I do for you. Isn't it?
Yep, that's the one.